Here at Michigan Home Appraisal Company, we get a lot of questions about FHA financing. Most buyers and sellers know that FHA-insured mortgages come with extra requirements. However, these regulations aren't always obvious. To clear the air, let's start with a common source of confusion: FHA heating and cooling rules. Let's start with the simple side: cooling regulations. The FHA's Single-Family Housing Policy Handbook has no specific requirements in regards to air conditioning. Instead, the regulation is simple. If AC is present, it must work properly. That's it. Central air conditioning is not necessary to meet FHA heating and cooling rules. However, if a home has an improperly functioning AC unit, the appraiser is required to note the problem. They will also estimate the cost to resolve the issue and report how it affects the home's marketability and value. The heating system has many more stipulations. Generally speaking, heat is a safety issue and the FHA takes it seriously. In short, they require that the heating system must provide for healthful and comfortable heating, regardless of the type of system or the type of fuel. In addition, it must meet the safety, soundness, and security rule for FHA properties. There are 7 specific guidelines. First, the heating system must heat all living areas to at least 50 degrees Fahrenheit. Here in Michigan, that's a relatively low bar to hurdle. A 50-degree house is downright cold. In addition, it must heat all non-living areas with temperature-sensitive building components. For instance, if you have an unfinished basement that contains your water heater and well pump, it can't freeze every time the temperature drops. Second, it must provide healthful and comfortable heat. Your heating system can't put out smelly fumes or dump carbon monoxide into the surrounding air. That would be unsafe and uncomfortable, and you wouldn't want to live there. Third, the heating system must be safe to operate. If it is dangerous for humans to be around or poses a risk to the structure, it won't pass FHA guidelines. In addition to the obvious concern for anyone living inside, the house itself is collateral for the FHA-backed loan. Fourth, the fuel source for the heating system must be readily obtainable. For instance, if it runs on natural gas or propane, you're probably okay. However, if your house relies on a wood-burning stove in the middle of a city, you may have an issue. Without fuel, the system can't operate, which would put the safety of the structure at risk. Fifth, it must be permanently installed. Space heaters don't count because they can be easily removed from the house and are generally considered personal property. FHA regulations do not allow for these heating solutions. If you don't have central heat, such as a furnace or a hot water system, there are other options available. For instance, in-wall heating units and electric baseboard heat qualify within the guidelines. Sixth, the heating system must be acceptable to the local market. In other words, it can't be a deal breaker to most buyers in your local area. If the system is uncommon for the area or holds limited appeal, it will be more difficult to sell. The bank and the FHA aren't interested in a house that no one wants and the chance of a foreclosure. Lastly, it must operate without human intervention. Think of a wood-burning fireplace or wood stove as an example. While they can do an admirable job of creating heat, each needs constant tending. Someone must stock the fire, monitor the fuel, and keep the temperature constant. While it is perfectly fine to have wood-burning heat in your home, it can't be the only heat source for the property. FHA heating and cooling rules are geared towards the safety of the home and its inhabitants. While they may seem confusing at first, they aim to keep you and the house warm and safe. If you are dealing with a home that doesn't meet these regulations, consider installing in-wall heater units or electric baseboards to remedy the issue properly. For more questions about appraisals or to order one for your property, contact us at 616-826-2255 or click on the link below. We are happy to help.